Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh, gotta get their fast shot.
Yeah.
Gotta get their fast shot.
Hello Britball Nation, I'm Nick Wilson-Town, Editor-in-Chief here at doublecoverage.com, and welcome to Britball 17 and our inaugural power rankings for the 2017 adult full contact season. New alignments across all three tiers, surprise promotions and teams opting to step down or step out means it's all change all across the board, and even were it not, the off-season is always a tempestuous time of transition across the Britball Nation, which of course leads us to this most important of provisos before we get into the power rankings. The season's barely started, people. Our newly expanded Bafana office are making their best semi-educated assessments based on the information that was available, which, seeing as we couldn't even get a fair few teams to return a brief questionnaire and teams' own websites are often about as up to date as my MySpace profile, we often couldn't get hold of all that much info. That said, if you have thoughts on our power rankings, feel free to get in touch in the comments down below and let us know. Remember to like this video over on YouTube, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already, and if you think we've earned it, we've currently got a GoFundMe campaign going on over at gofundme.com/dblcoverage, where you can donate a $5 or however much you think we're worth to ensure DC keeps doing what we're doing. That said, let's jump into the rankings. 11 teams in the Prem, which is a little awkward as our graphics and sound package only goes to 10, but either way you shake it, the Wolverines currently sit at the bottom of our rankings following a disappointing 2016 campaign where they were the only team to ship a loss to the relegation bound Coventry Jets. They did the double over Sheffield in 2016, but rumour has it they've lost a number of players and coaches to the up and coming Manchester Titans programme.
10.
Their rebrand also appears to have brought in a number of new recruits, including blue chip additions Jordan Eaton, Dan Conroy and Brad Thompson, alongside some former London Warriors talent that could see the Giants looming large this season. Still, our new Bafana team weren't willing to count their chickens before they've hatched, so the Yorkshire side slot in at 10.
9.
The new boys to the Prem North entered the Premiership power rankings in the number 9 spot. They dominated in the northern half of Division 1 last year and pushed the Bury Saints hard in the Div 1 national final thanks to a very stingy D and an efficient offence. Of course, the leap to the top tier is often tough to handle, but it's a great testament to Scottish football to see two teams in the top tier in the north. The clash between them this past Sunday shows just how hard fought the battle for the top dog in Scotland might be this year, and so many might argue the newcomers to the Prem North deserve a higher ranking following the 26-26 tie. Still, reports from within the EKP camp itself say the Pirates have not come into the season where they'd like to be in performance terms, so our team will wait a little longer before making a full judgment on whether the Wolves should be higher up the rankings.
8.
Bury edge out the Wolves to the number 8 spot on account of edging them out in the Div 1 finals. The Saints torched most of Division 1 last season thanks to a combo of veteran homegrown talent and a healthy smattering of imported muscle thanks to the local US air bases. However, they're about to enter the toughest conference in Britball, so it'll be interesting to see if they can keep pace considering the young programme's rapid climb up the Britball pyramid. Will they have the depth to sustain the Premiership campaign?
7.
A disappointing year for the perennial powerhouse in the north in 2016. EKP missed out on players for the first time in a long time, and overall sentiments in the club was that a combination of complacency and retirements left the Premier Scottish side ill prepared for their campaign in a feisty Prem North. They appeared to right the ship towards the end of last season, and talk is there's been an overhaul of attitude within the team, not least because the Pirates will be wary of losing their status as the top team north of the wall were they to have a second shaky season in a row now that the Edinburgh Wolves are also prowling the top tier. As we mentioned, the two teams met on opening weekend, and many would argue that the New Blood Wolves got the better of the matchup that ended in a 26-26 tie. Most of the big name ballers from recent years are absent from the Pirates roster, but we're giving the team the benefit of the doubt for now in keeping them ahead of their new Scottish rivals.
6.
The Nighthawks impressed in their Premiership debut, playoff balling in their inaugural top tier campaign. That said, the Warriors tore the northern side apart when the Hawks headed to the capital for the semi-finals, and a pre-season scrimmage against the Manchester Titans appears to have set alarm bells ringing, with the Titans coming away clear victors, including a 28-7 lead at the half, where we're expecting it was mostly starters in from both sides. Worrying for Merseyside or just promising play for the Titans? We'll have to wait and see, but either way it pushes the Hawks down the rankings in the minds of our Bafana team.
5.
Are our Bafana team showing bias with a top 5 dominated by southern teams? Maybe, but it's tough to call it bias when every postseason the south wins out over the north. Hence the Knights side that finished 4th in the south lots in over a Nighthawks side that finished 2nd in the north. With a large and talented offensive line, the Knights proved they were capable of putting points on anyone in the Prem last year with scores, if not many of them, against the likes of the Blitz and Warriors. Hopes are for the Knights to see further improvement in their second year return to the top tier, along with more crazy shootout scorelines similar to the 100 plus points put up between the two teams in their game versus the Aztecs last July.
4.
Perennial third places in the Prem South, the Aztecs upset the apple cart last season with a shock Week 9 win over the London Blitz. However, droppings at the hands of the Warriors alongside a draw against South Wales and a loss to the Knights show that improving consistency will be key to the Aztecs season.
3,
The great hope of Northern Balling, the Phoenix took their first Prem North crown last season, and in a convincing enough fashion that it appeared there might finally be a Northern contender for the national title once more. Yeah, well, we all know how that went. A 41-12 thumping at the hands of a travelling London Blitz shows Northern Balling is still off the pace of the big southern sides. Still, despite losing some key starters to the lure of Europe, the Phoenix continue to rise from the ashes of other West Midlands programmes, having scooped some key recruits from the other local teams.
2,
11 straight Britballs, but 4 straight Britball losses for the Blitz, and last year's 21-point loss the strongest indication that the Blitz appear to be lagging behind their cross-city rivals in the race for Britball domination. Reports of a roster of less than 30 players coming into the season is a worrying sign. However, hopes are that 2 heavy defeats to the Warriors out of their 3 meetings in 2016, combined with a shock loss to the Aztecs, may have been the warning shots required to galvanise the Blitz. Circle the 14th of May in your calendars as our first Britball preview of the year to see whether the Blitz are back in business for 2017.
1,
And no surprises that our back reigning Britball champions find themselves sat atop our Premiership power rankings coming into the season. 2016 was their most dominant campaign to date, with a full slate of games undefeated and largely unchallenged. Still, success comes with its own woes, as some of the Warriors' talent has been seduced by the lure of Europe during the off-season, particularly in their talented linebacker core. Add on to this the recent announcement of the London-sized participation in the new Northern European Football League that sees the Warriors tack on at least 2, hopefully 3, tough European matchups onto their season, and might the Warriors be at risk of overreaching this year? Nah, we're not seeing it either, but the onus is on the rest of the Prem South to take advantage of what few weaknesses they can find. And there you have it, nation, our power rankings for the Premiership. Do you agree with how we've ranked everyone up? Can we really place the unproven Wolves and Saints higher than the likes of the Giants and Wolverines? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Remember to like and subscribe to keep more of this video content coming through the summer seasons, and if you really like what we're doing here at DC and want to help us keep doing it, then go check out our GoFundMe campaign to read about our plans for the future of DC and the British game in general, and help us not only maintain the amount of content we're producing, which is currently 7 days a week of all things Britball, but also move into finding even bigger and better ways to grow the game and help the Britball nation reach a wider audience. In the meantime, as always, play hard, play safe, and best of luck to all the teams stepping out onto the gridiron this weekend.